What if one day you just vanished without a trace, only to return with no memory of where you've been? Imagine the bewilderment, the confusion, the sheer panic. This is the tale of such a woman whose life was turned upside down in the blink of an eye. One sunny day, as ordinary as any other, she simply disappeared. For a full week, she was nowhere to be found. Her family and friends, gripped by fear and uncertainty, searched tirelessly, leaving no stone unturned. The local authorities, too, were baffled. The circumstances of her disappearance were inexplicable, defying all logic and reason. She hadn't run away, there was no foul play. It was as if she had been plucked from existence. And then, just as abruptly as she had gone, she returned. But the woman who came back was not the woman they knew. She was different, altered. When she returned, she was not the same, bearing strange tales of her captors. She spoke of beings not from our world, of lights brighter than the sun, and of a language that she couldn't comprehend. She recounted tales of her abduction with a tremor in her voice, painting an unfathomable picture of her alien captors. These entities, she claimed, were unlike any creatures she'd seen or heard of before. They were towering figures, with bodies that shimmered like liquid silver under the unearthly glow of their ship's interior. Her captors, she said, communicated in a language that was as alien to her as they were. It was a symphony of clicks, whistles, and hums, a language that seemed to reverberate within her very soul. She could not decipher their words, but she could feel their meaning, a testament to their advanced methods of communication. The spacecraft, as she described it, was a marvel of technology far beyond our understanding. It hummed with a quiet energy, the walls pulsating with an iridescent light. The ship was not composed of metal or any material known to us. It was, she suggested, alive in its own right, responding to the touch and commands of its alien pilots. She spoke of strange experiments carried out on her. These were not cruel or invasive procedures, but rather seemed to focus on her mind and emotions. She described feeling waves of emotion wash over her, ranging from intense joy to deep sorrow, as if her captors were studying the range of human emotions. She experienced vivid visions, memories from her past, and even potential futures, as if they had the ability to traverse the boundaries of time itself. Throughout her recollection, her story remained consistent. Her descriptions were detailed, her experiences vivid, her emotions raw. Yet despite the extraordinary nature of her claims, there was an undeniable sincerity in her words. She truly believed in what she experienced, in the reality of her alien abduction. But as it turns out, the truth was far stranger than fiction. As we'll soon discover, these beings were not the extraterrestrial entities she had initially believed them to be. But that's a story for the next scene. What if the aliens she claimed to have seen were not aliens at all? Let's delve deeper into this intriguing mystery. Our enigmatic woman, desperate for answers, found herself under the guiding light of hypnosis. As she sank into the depths of her subconscious, she began to unlock the doors to her lost memories. Through this process of hypnosis, a tool often used to recover suppressed or forgotten memories, she began to recall the events of her abduction with startling clarity. The strange beings, the otherworldly ship, the fear and confusion, it was all there, vivid as a summer's day. But as she delved deeper into her memories, something unexpected surfaced. The beings that she had initially perceived as alien started to morph in her recollections. Their features became less alien and more human. The strange language she remembered hearing now echoed in her mind as English. The shocking revelation hit her like a bolt of lightning. The beings that had abducted her were not extraterrestrial at all. They were humans. The spaceship she remembered was no alien vessel but a creation of human ingenuity. This revelation sparked a whirlwind of questions. Why would humans stage such an elaborate hoax? What could they possibly gain from making her believe she had been abducted by aliens? The answers to these questions remained elusive, shrouded in the mists of her still fragmented memories. But one truth was evident. Her captors were humans, not aliens, as she had initially believed. This realization turned her world upside down, casting a shadow of doubt over everything she had experienced. But as disconcerting as this truth was, it served as a stepping stone, a beacon guiding her towards uncovering the full extent of the deception that had ensnared her. So let's continue this journey together, peeling back the layers of this captivating mystery. For every answer we find, a new question arises, and we're just getting started. Stay tuned as we delve into the hidden agenda behind this elaborate hoax in the next segment. Her captors were humans, not aliens, as she had initially believed. So, if they weren't aliens, then who were they and why did they abduct her? As the fog of confusion lifts, an unexpected revelation looms large. The figures that our protagonist had perceived as extraterrestrial beings were, in fact, agents of a clandestine government organization. But why? Why orchestrate such an elaborate ruse? This organization, shrouded in secrecy, was conducting covert experiments on the fringes of ethics and legality. Their work was not of this world, not in the sense of extraterrestrial life, but rather in the realm of the mind. They were delving into the uncharted territories of memory manipulation and illusion creation, pushing the boundaries of what we understand about the human brain. Our protagonist, the unsuspecting subject of their experiment, was selected not for her physical attributes, but for her mental resilience. The so-called abduction was an elaborate setup, a stage designed to test their latest advancements in creating vivid, immersive illusions. To them, she was not a person, but a test subject, a means to an end. So the aliens she remembered were merely illusions, figments of a reality fabricated by these secret agents. And the abduction, a memory implanted in her mind, as real to her as any other, yet entirely artificial. The trauma, the fear, the confusion, all products of an experiment designed to see how far the human mind could be bent before it broke. The truth of her ordeal is hard to swallow. It's easier to believe in aliens than to accept that her own kind could be capable of such cold, calculated deception. But the evidence is irrefutable. She was not the victim of an alien abduction, but a pawn in a game much larger than she could have ever imagined. In this twisted tale, the aliens aren't the villains. They're the smokescreen, the distraction from the real perpetrators. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the monsters we fear aren't lurking in the far reaches of space, but much closer to home. She was a pawn in a game much larger than she could have ever imagined. After the revelation, her life was never the same. Her days became a whirlwind of contemplation and introspection, her nights filled with visions of her otherworldly encounter. The woman who once lived an ordinary life was now entwined in a reality that was anything but. She wrestled with the truth, a truth that was stranger than any science fiction, a truth that was not of extraterrestrial beings, but of her own kind. The aliens she thought had abducted her were not from a distant galaxy. They were her own species, humans, manipulating her perceptions and exploiting her fears. She grappled with the enormity of her experience, trying to make sense of the deception. It was a struggle that went beyond understanding the motives of her abductors. It was a struggle with her own beliefs, her own understanding of the world. Her reality had been shattered, and now she was left to pick up the pieces. Her story was met with skepticism, disbelief, and even ridicule. Many dismissed her as a fantasist, a woman lost in her own imagination. Others accused her of seeking attention, of fabricating a story so outlandish that it was bound to draw the public's eyes. But she remained steadfast, undeterred by the doubters and the skeptics. She knew the truth, and she was determined to share it. But amidst the struggle and the disbelief, she found a new strength within herself, a resilience that was born from her ordeal. She had survived the unthinkable, and she would not let the skepticism of others diminish her experience. She stood tall, unflinching in the face of scrutiny, her resolve unwavering. Her life, once defined by normalcy, was now marked by a profound understanding of the depths of human deception. She had seen the face of humanity at its most deceptive and manipulative, and it left her questioning everything she knew. In the end, she found strength in her ordeal. What once was a memory of terror became a catalyst for transformation. She wove her tale of abduction not as a victim, but as a testament of resilience and determination. Her journey, though marked by fear and uncertainty, led to a profound acceptance. She was not merely a pawn in a grand scheme, but a woman who dared to uncover the truth. Her endeavors to expose the truth were relentless. She stood against the tide of disbelief, her voice unwavering, her spirit unbroken. She shared her story, not for pity or fame, but to shed light on the shadows of deception. In the face of adversity, she found a newfound purpose. She became an advocate, a beacon of truth in a world shrouded in deception. Her courage sparked conversations, her story ignited change. She was not a victim, she was a survivor, a beacon of truth in a world shrouded in deception. Y'all know the drill. If you're digging what you're hearing, do us a solid. Give that like button a good old click. Not enough? Then how about subscribing? It's just a tap away. And don't forget that little bell icon. Give it a ring, and you'll be the first to know when we got something fresh for you. Stay tuned, folks.